I'd like to share a very special song with you all that has been in my heart for years. I was brought into the Sacred Circle up in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, by my adopted grandfather, Samuel Frog. Him and his wife, Mamie Frog. Sam and Mamie Frog took me in as a grandson. He's the first one that gave me my first black and whites, my first wing bustle that goes on the back, and the ceremony that my family put on in honor of me to be brought in. But I was a very, very fortunate, very lucky young man, young boy. I had my naming ceremony, my bringing in ceremony, and my paint and my eagle plume ceremony. So I never take things for granted, things that were passed on to me. And I credit my grandfolks, Margaret and Merle Lewis Ida'kai from Zuni, for the things that they passed on to me, that they gave me, showed me, taught me, things that they passed on to me. Now that I can share those things with my wife and our children and my relatives, my family. And I credit my grandfolks 110% for those things that they gave me. My grandfather used to sing this song I'm going to share with you, Samuel Frog, up in Hayward, Lakota Ray Reserve in Wisconsin. He used to sing this song no matter what he was doing. Whether he was making a canoe, he was a canoe maker, a canoe out of the birch bark, the tar and the pitch and the skeleton, the frame that he made everything out of all natural materials. His wife Mamie, she gardened and tanned hides. They wore clothes made out of leather, beadwork. They lived out in the woods in a log cabin, sod, rooftop, no running water, no electricity. But that's how they loved it. That's how they lived. They lived off the land, growing their own vegetables. And he used to sing this song. I shared it at a hand drum singing contest about late 80s up in Fort Belknap, Montana, Assiniboine country, Grovant country. And this gentleman, after I shared this song, as I was making my way across the arbor to where I was sitting at, he stopped me. This elder, this grandfather. He said, "Hold on there, young man, hold on," he said. I said, hey, what is it? What is it? And he said, "I want to ask you where you got that song from." So I proceeded to share with him what I just shared with you all about my grandfather, Samuel Frog, and his wife, Mamie. He said, "That's a wonderful, beautiful song." He said, "I want to give you a gift." And he gave me a gift of Indian tobacco, monetary gift. And he said, "Did you know you have an original 49? And I said, "No." He said, "You do." And this gentleman was 6'4", 6'5", so I was standing up there looking at him like this, looking at him. And I said, "Grandfather, you'll have to forgive me." I said, "We're taught to address our elders as grandfather, grandmother." And I said, "I'm sorry, grandfather, I don't have anything in return to give you." He had tears in his eyes. He said, "You already have. You brought back a song that I thought I would never hear again." Our stories tell us that when you tell a story, you start from the start. It's a known fact that in World War I, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, no offense to anybody here, if I do, please forgive me. That our grandfathers and grandmothers left their homelands, their loved ones, to fight for a country that they weren't considered citizens of yet. But they left alongside their non-native brothers and sisters who left also for the love of their family and country to fight alongside one another. And our stories tell us that when these first wave of veterans to return home, there was only 49 of them. And so each one had a song, whether it was about their deeds, things that they went through, things that they experienced, or about a loved one maybe about a grandmother, a grandfather, a mom, dad, and in many cases about a sweetheart. A lot of our 49 songs are about sweethearts. In this case, this is one of them. I don't know who originated the song or what tribe he was from. Whether he was on the land, in the sea, in the air, maybe in a foxhole, in a building looking down. But he was trying to convey a message to his sweetheart. He's singing to his sweetheart from across the great water, from one land to the other, across the great continents. So I'd like to honor all our warriors. Can we have a show of hands in the audience? People here this evening, men, women who have served, are now serving and have served. Let's give these people a big round of applause for their unselfishness, for their commitment, for their love to family and country. So I'd like to honor our warriors, our native and non-native warriors, with this song. Oh, my darling, I'm so far away from you. As I sit alone tonight, I'm thinking of you. If I don't come back, remember that I'll always love you. Hey, hey. Oh, thank you.